Alrighty, welcome everyone. Punpunia, Punpunia, Punpunpuri. We're here for Oyasumi Punpun Volume 2. Last week on Punpun, we read the second half of Volume 1, and it was chock full of interesting stuff. We found out that Aiko is in a cult, it seems. That is definitely not a cult, but it's definitely a cult. We watched ourselves a fun porn video that it turned out had been overwritten by a very scary man telling us a very scary thing, that he had murdered his entire family and hidden their bodies in the nearby miso factory, along with a prize of moolah for anyone brave enough to go and find them, discover them, and out them to the police. We talked to Aiko in multiple circumstances, mostly after finding out the whole cult thing, and eventually found out that she wants to go to Kagoshima to visit her uncle or something. I don't know. She wants to get far, far away and thinks that Kagoshima will do it. And so Punpun, well, of course, wants to do that with her, but he needs the money to do so. He makes a promise to Aiko that he will go with her, and he has no idea how to make that happen and no funding to do so. So he wants to go to the factory and find the bodies and the money. And so do all of his curious friends. So off they trot to the abandoned miso factory to find what crazy, scary things lie in store there. And Aiko decides to tag along. Interesting. We got a recipe for problems, for interesting things happening at this factory. I don't know what it's going to be. We, at the moment, have two big conflicts, two big scares. One is that someone is walking toward us inside the factory. Someone is coming. The other, and much more important, Punpun really has to pee. Ah! Terrifying. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in Punpun. Thanks for joining me, everybody. We're here for Volume 2. We're probably gonna read about half of it, and we'll see how it goes and see what comes up. Let's go. Let's dive straight in. If you like this content, you can feel free to comment or like the video. It helps to get those out. Also, subscribe to the channel so you get notifications on when these come out. And hit me up on the Patreon if you'd like early access, and you can get next week's reaction, reading, whatever, to Punpun a week early, along with everything else that I do for the channel. So check that out if you'd like to. It helps out a super lot in all of those ways. So thank you all so much for your support. Let's get into it. I am using the same version of Punpun that I was using before. There have been some mixed conversations, some people demanding the original, the Viz Media Omnibus versions, and some people being like, nah, these seem good. And then there was at least one person who went, no, I need the Omnibus Wait, actually, I read over this over the last couple of days, and I think that the new version is also good. These are both good. Choose whichever one you want. So I'm going to stick with the one that I have. I did decide, I downloaded some of the Omnibus version, I went through it, some of the chapters that we've already read, and I don't like it as much. It's not as linguistically sound to me. It doesn't feel as flowy to me. Some of the lines don't have changed meaning exactly, but they seem they're more difficult for me to interpret. And so I'm going to stick with this version. And I'm sorry if that irks you. If you have specific examples that we have covered of reasons why I should use the other version, let me know. But at the moment, I think this one's great, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So here we go. Boom. Good night, Punpun 2 in Yosano. Up through chapter 23. So we will shoot for chapter, 16, 17? 13 through 23. I guess 17, 18, somewhere in there is the midpoint. Yeah. Yeah, 18 actually is exactly the midpoint. Okay, 17, 18. That's where we're headed. At this point, Punpun noticed something extremely pressing. Someone's coming. They really needed to pee. Punpun, squeeze. Boing! Wow! Insta-boner? Really? Punpun, no. Punpun, no. Punpun was rapidly losing his grasp on the situation. Yes, indeed. Welcome to psychedelic fuck. Hey, what the fuck? What the hell do you think you're doing in here? Ah! Punpun backpedaled at full speed. Irk! Nani, 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 nani? You're just kids. Sorry about that. Lots of times the punks like to use this place as a place to shack up, which pisses me off. This time, I was about to give them a piece of my mind. What? What are you all so freaked out about? Chill. Yeah, there's a no trespassing sign, but I've never seen anyone here before. What are you doing here then? Yeah. Me? Oh, nothing. I've been coming here forever. Well, I was actually asking about the blood. Oh, that's just my dad. He's a bit violent, see? Don't mind it. This always happens. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Well, anyways, feel free to play here, but don't mess the place up, okay? This is kind of a special place for me, you know? Drawing block. Oh, and one more thing. Make sure you leave before sunset, all right? There's a lot of rusty scrap metal around this place. It's dangerous. Not to mention, the guy who used to own this place ran into financial trouble years back and committed suicide by fire. Might run into his toasty ghosty. Ugh. Have fun then. Knock yourselves out. All right, I'm just curious. I would like to know how the other translation translated toasty ghosty. Because that's very funny to me. Give me a sec. I'm just going to go find out. I got it. I have it. I can check. It is in the omnibus version, so I think it's in... Yeah, here. Went broke and burned himself to death. So now he hangs around here all boo. As if laters. See, this is not the same to me. I don't know. I like the other one. Toasty Ghosty is pretty fucking good. That's pretty funny. I like that. All right, back to it. Sorry. Toasty Ghosty. What the heck was up with her? To be honest, Punpun couldn't wait to get as far away as he could from the place. But he looked for the body and the money along with everyone else. Of course. Hey, Harvey, what's scarier, a zombie or a ghost? Both. Both isn't an answer. Which one? Both. Oh, here's Shimi. Hey, Shimi. What are you waving at, Shimi? Shimi, what do you see and wave at here? What are you looking at? Okay, KKK. Which is scarier to you, Seki? Shut up, you idiots. Neither of those things exist. Punpun was dreadfully afraid of both zombies and ghosts, but he thought this was a case where he ought to be brave, especially because Aiko is there, and that's immediately what we show in the next frame. Super good. Super good. Ding. This was because he had to take Aiko to Kagoshima. It was a promise. A life or death promise. Indeed. Oh, that is cute. That top frame is cute. Good shit. If Aiko really wanted it, he had no choice but to make sure that it happened, thought Punpun. No luck at all. Maybe that guy made it all up. This is an this is an emergency, Punpun screamed inside his head. Harumi, I thought this was supposed to be a test of courage. What are you looking for? Huh? Oh, don't sweat it. It's not really that important. Pfft. She's gonna fucking find it. Maybe not. I had a pretty good time today. I think I'm happy with what we accomplished. You know, we should come here more often. We could bring our toy guns and play Resident Evil. Yeah, actually, it's a pretty good location. Maybe during summer vacation. Well, the truth is, my family's moving as soon as second semester starts. Oh shit, Harumi's leaving. What? You're moving away, Harumi? Yeah, but hey, it's only to the next city over. That's way closer than America. Yeah, and if I want to see you, I can come by anytime. Never gonna happen. Oh, right. I still have some corn cones left from the bus trip. You guys want them? I bet you do. What is a corn cone? Oh, I see. Got it. They're bugles. Crap. Already stale. Don't they come stale? Don't they start out stale? They initiate their lifespan stale. Yikes. This is the last building here. If we find the 1 million yen, we should ask Harumin's mom not to move. Really? What's up, Shimi? Well, did you see that guy just walk through here? Shimizu, I don't want to hear any of your bullcrap today. Seki, do you think that might have been the owner's, you know, give it a rest, man. Don't tell me you believe this idiot's lies. You know how I know? Fuck. She was a woman. Huh? Oh, the owner was a woman. I see. But it was said earlier that it was a he. So I don't actually know. That's weird. Okay, here we are in a dilapidated office space, and Shimi just looking off into nowhere. I keep expecting Shimi's poop god to show up. I really like that character. I really think that character is very funny. Yes, Shimi, I have given you great power. Hey, kid, want to come over here and play with the old guys? What the fuck is this? Who? Which kid is this? Don't bother calling to him. He acts tough, but he's really shy. All right, Bentos. Ha ha, just like his pop. Oh, somebody's catching dragonflies. Are they pulling the wings off of him? Poof. Oh, he let it go. Hey, Masumi, we're going now. Well, thanks again, Mrs. President. See you tomorrow. Oh no, don't you start with this president nonsense. I thought we were closer than that. Or are you trying to look dignified in front of your son? Hey, okay, so this is the kid who works at... I didn't connect the character. Okay, so this is what's going on. Hey, kid, want to come over here and play with the old guys? It's his father who runs the store while he was still running the store and getting miso from the miso stop. He does capture this dragonfly, and he does let them go, which is spooky a little bit. Also, dragonflies are hard to catch. Don't you start with this president nonsense. I thought we were closer than that, or are you trying to look dignified in front of your son? I thought we were... Are they having an affair? It's kind of my guess. Oh, it's because... we know him as Seki more often and not as Masumi. Got it. See you tomorrow. Great. Hey, ma'am, will you still come to buy lunches from us even after I take over the store from my dad? Of course, I swear to God. Ding! Heh, you promised. Oh. Wow, there's a photo of him in here. That's crazy. With her and his dad. Nothing here either. Why don't we just give up already? And he's just going to burn it. You can get onto the roof from the veranda. Really? Come on, Seki, let's check. Ah, what are you doing, Seki? You'll start a fire. So what? Who's going to care if this place goes up? A lot of people. This is not a good idea. Why are you being so weird today? Well, I wouldn't really expect you to understand. Wasting your days laughing and farting around. Ooh, he's got a bit of a thing going here. It's all a bunch of stupid crap, you know that? And he chucks this. Whoa. And everybody shuts their eyes, freaks out, freezes, doesn't know what to do in this moment. He chucks it off the roof. And it looks like somehow he hits Punpun across the face. Sorry. Masumi Seki has some anger issues, just a little bit. For reasons that we can see, but we've seen him semi-threaten his dad with a bat, and that didn't do anything. Now we've seen him capture and release a dragonfly. Perhaps because he was interrupted. He might have been in the process of ripping its wings off. Yikes. Shall we go now? Yeah. I was at least hoping we could have fun today. I said I was sorry. What's up, Shimi? You seeing something again? Can you just take it easy with that stuff today? It's not... Ha. Ha. Ha ha ha. Are you serious? Oh my god, is this real? Ah! Holy crap! Holy shit! Holy balls! Whoosh. Clong, 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 clong. My feet. Oh, and he's underneath her. Yes! Aiko! Punpun, thanks. Clonk. Holy shit, she goes out again. Okay, so a little bit hard to follow. They all freak out while they're out here because they see the shadow, the figure of a person. Somebody snatches Aiko, but we're not certain who, because it's not Punpun's hand, right? It's unclear in this moment who it is. They run inside. Oh my god, is this real? She slips on some pipes. Holy balls, turn to look. Woof, it's gone. And the pipes fall over onto her legs, and Punpun is stuck underneath her. My feet! Punpun squirms out from under, gets out, goes, yes, turns to see Aiko. Kashang! Pulls the pipes off, tries to put the last pipe up, gets it up, and it falls back onto her and clonks her on the fucking head. Got it. Kong. Ding! Aiko? I don't know what this image that he's dreaming of is. I really don't understand what that is. What is this underground thing? And then, I don't know. Hey, Harumin, didn't we just pass this way already? I don't know, I'm just running around at random. Where the heck are we? Great, it's a dead end. They're gonna find it. What'll we do, people? What'll we do? Well, we can't go back. The thingy's in the thing. I fucking love that. I love that shit. I'm telling you, Shibi, you can't do a Kamehameha. Zip. Creak. No way, that opens? Hey, good job, Shimi. Hurry, hurry, come on, Shimi, move. I don't see Punpun or Aiko. Oh, I'm gonna go look for them. Kashung. So, one left behind with Punpun and Aiko, and everybody else is out. Ooh, we're getting spicy. Huff, huff. Harumine, should we be calling a policeman or something? What's a policeman gonna do against a ghost? I know, we need an exorcist. Look for an exorcist, Komatsu. Where? Whoa, and Shimi is the one left behind. Punpun. Oh. Hi there, Mr. Drawing Stick Figure. Dude, this fucking kid goes up the stairs, his fucking drip. And he finds Punpun. Maybe. Yeah, so they're still there. Oh no, he doesn't find him. This is there. Or maybe they're seeing maybe they're seeing Seki now? I don't know. The man came closer, closer, closer. So very, very slowly. It was hard to tell how much time had passed. Punpun had a keen feeling that the man was going to speak to him. And then Punpun remembered something dreadful. The most horrible thing of all. I have to take a ferocious pee. Damn it, Punpun. Why you gotta undercut your own drama? Huff, huff, it won't open. Shit. What am I doing? I'm totally useless. After all I said, I'm the most worthless of them all. Seki! There's a fire! Whoa. Twinkle, 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 twinkle. I said, is there an exorcist around here? What? Harumine, did you hear a weird noise from that direction? Help. Anyone. Dude, is he gonna jump out of this fucking building and die? Whoa. Punpun honestly had no idea what was happening. And the thought that he could die easily on that very spot left his mind entirely blank. But the man's slight, cracked voice reached his ears perfectly. I am. He had reached his limit. God fucking damn it, Punpun. I am. The ghost speaks to you. And you piss on the floor. Punpun found himself slowly traversing the memories scattered about here and there that made up his very short life. Ding. Wait, is that his uncle? Okay, Punpun. But if you break this promise, if you betray me again, I really will kill you. Whoa, it's all locked in and psychedelic. There is no God. Then I love you too. I believe you then. You wouldn't lie, would you, Punpun? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Hey, I don't understand. A series of 10 butt sluts in Shibuya. What? Punpun, I've got bad news. A robber snuck into our house. Punpun, I'm telling the truth. A robber really did sneak into our house. You believe me, don't you? Oh, and it's like a human eye that we see Punpun reflected in. That's cool. Great, really expressive. Guess what? In a few years, the oil will run out and the environment will collapse and we won't be able to live on Earth anymore. So we'll have to colonize other stars or humanity will go extinct. Clap, 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 clap. Will you repeat that for me? Ding-ling-ling-ling. They're letting me go after this month. I guess I'm okay with that. I was almost getting overworked anyway. You're okay with it? What about your salary? We've barely begun to pay off the mortgage. Nah, I'll find a new job right away. This is an opportunity to strengthen the bonds of our family. Don't you spit that garbage at me with beer on your breath. It was a failure. I knew this marriage will be a failure. I shouldn't have had a baby. I should have enjoyed my life of freedom. You bitch! So we see some of the both sides of it. How dare you say something like that to me? Driver, take us to the ocean. Wherever. Come on, lady. Where are you going this late at night? You ain't gonna drown yourself, are you? With the kid? I mean, just kidding, man. I'm sorry, driver. Take us back, after all. Holy shit, she kind of was, wasn't she? See, Punpun, we're practically one in body and mind. You can't be best friends with us. We're already best friends, but you can be second best friends if you want. Wow. Ha 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 ha. Poop poop. Invincible slugger. Punyama, we're short on people. Want to play with us? And this is how I became part of this friend group. Punpun! Thank goodness I found you. I was looking everywhere. You're not supposed to wander off so far on your own. Papa and Mama are going crazy looking for you too. Hello, officer. Sorry about all the trouble. I'm this little fella's uncle. He chased a shooting star this way? I see. Yes, he's a little prone to mischief like that. Poor guy just won't stop crying, huh? Well, shucks. Yes, I know you were lonely. It's hard being all alone. Wow, we're doing so much background on Punpun. This is crazy. Oh, I know. Let me tell you a little secret, Punpun. Did you know that God is always at the side of good little boys like you? If you're ever lonely, just recite this spell just like this. Dear God, tinkle, tinkle, hoy. Ding. Yowdy, Punpun, yowdy. God had a strangely serious look on his face as he spoke to Punpun. Same features as ever. Literally a still photo. Okay. You know what I think? You know what I think, Punpun. There's a loneliness that's part of living as a Wait, is this his uncle or is this Poon? No, I guess this is his uncle. There's a loneliness that's part of living as a human being that you can never get rid of. If, no matter how much people seek or hurt each other, they can never find full understanding with one another, then what are we supposed to believe in? What are they supposed to believe in, you know? Ding, 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 all these elements. Well, that's all, Punpun. Hope you stop by again sometime. What are you thinking about, Papa? About how long a trip it's been. We're coming back to this, by the way. We're coming back to page 74. I'm just going to write it down. It's really important that we do. About how long a trip it's been for us. The good, the bad, the stupid, the important stuff I've forgotten. But the long and the short of it is, I just can't believe I've got my own house. Oh, don't be silly, Papa. It's because you've worked so hard. 6 million yen down payment, and by the time the 25-year mortgage is paid off, the kid'll be a full-grown man. Time to keep my sights on paying off that loan. Oh, you're such a hard-working, trustworthy man. When I was in my 20s, I thought owning my own house was the goal line of my life. Turns out it's just a checkpoint. Let's build a happy family together. Just the three of us, you know? Sheds a tear. Bye. Bye, Dream Punpun. And the chapter ends. All right, we're going to take this opportunity to go back to 74. You know what I don't know who's speaking this, actually. I actually don't. I think this might be God. Because it's not his uncle. This is Punpun flying around, right? Yowdy, Punpun. Yowdy, right? I don't know. This might be God speaking. Or it might be Punpun. I think it's God, because Punpun doesn't think like this very much. We always get Punpun's thoughts in narration, right? In third person. Punpun thought blank. Punpun realized he had to pee. It's never Punpun says, I have to pee, right? Okay. This sentiment, I think, is really strong. There's a loneliness that's part of living as a human being that you can never get rid of. If, no matter how much people seek or hurt each other, they can never find full understanding with one another, then what are they supposed to believe in, you know? I think this is true to some extent. I think it's a pessimistic view of it. But it is a hard problem. It's a tough problem. And I think it's a true problem. That problem is this. I'm a full person. You're a full person. I can communicate some words to you and some facial expressions and some gestures. And no matter how much time I spend communicating to you, or how effectively I communicate, or how good I am at putting my emotional state and the reasons I think the way that I do, and the way that I take one thought and turn it into another thought, and the way that thoughts percolate up into my brain, no matter how much I express that to you, you will never understand me. And you will certainly never be me, and you will never, ever, ever think the same way that I do. Nobody will, ever. And that's the same for every single human being on this planet. We're all hyper complicated and ultra different. But that's like, it's like the unreachable ideal, right? No, you can never fully understand me or anyone else, but you can understand a lot, right? You can understand a lot, and you can communicate a lot, and you can get very much on the same page with somebody else, especially when it comes to isolated topics. You can really communicate. Like, we can do that really effectively. So, while I agree with this statement on that ideal level, in fact, as a fact of the matter, a fact of life, It is factual that there is a loneliness that every person goes through. Every human being is and will always be isolated from every other human being. You cannot fully connect with somebody else. There's quite a bit of media actually that explores the possibilities of fully connecting. 86 is doing that, right? They're like mind linked. There's a mind link thing going on there. Star Trek does it with the Vulcans and their ability to mind meld, literally to, at one period of time, combine two minds for a period of time so that those two people are up to the same page from that point. And they'll diverge after it because they'll experience things differently, and they are different, but they can experience the same things like that. There's a lot of media that does that because it's a really interesting concept to us, because it's not a possible concept. In the same way that it's kind of cool to think of Superman being able to just fly by force of will, there are a lot of characters that do that, and a lot of people would love to do that. A lot of people would love to be able to full connect with somebody else, and we can't. And that does lead to some loneliness, right? This feeling of nobody will ever understand me. But it's not really true, right? Yes, it's true. Nobody will ever fully understand you. But you can get to like 90%. And you can get to like 100% on all the things that are important if you are willing to put in the work to effectively communicate. No man is an island, right? Everyone has people. Everyone should have people. If you don't have people, that's a bigger problem. But that's not the loneliness that we're talking about here. We're talking about you're a person. You go to school, or you go to work. You know people there. You talk to them about stuff. You maybe have some of them that you're friends with, that you go on events and go places with and do things with, or at least go and get drunk with or whatever. And maybe you have deep conversations occasionally, but it never feels like you're known or seen because you haven't effectively communicated yourself to them, probably because you're scared to. And maybe they haven't effectively communicated themselves to you. And maybe you've never been in a circumstance or a relationship where there was effective communication, where you could do that and feel safe doing so. But it's disingenuous, I think, to say that this inherent loneliness that you can never get rid of is a reason to not believe in anything, because it indicates to me a lack of having tried to get close to that ideal. Will you ever reach it? No, but you can get asymptotically close to it. You can get real close to understanding somebody else, at least to some extent. And I think it's worthwhile to do so. That's my argument against this argument, is that what are we supposed to believe in, you know? Well, that. Believe that you can. Believe that it's worth trying. Believe that people are willing to communicate with you. Believe that you can comprehend some of somebody, some of it, and actively try to, and try to communicate yourself too. And if it works, it can actually be a direct antidote to this feeling of loneliness, because you will have felt that you've effectively, to the best of your ability, communicated yourself, and you might feel that you're actually seen, and like you exist, and you're not alone. Right? That's awesome. It's doable. It's doable. Especially, I think, when it comes to the darker parts of the self, the darker parts of you, because nobody communicates about those. But that's not true. Nobody likes communicating about those, but people do communicate about them. You just need a level of trust in that relationship in order to do so. Or you need the kind of relationship that's built on not needing that trust, like a support group, right? Or hell, a confessional. Confessionals are useful for this, super useful for this, for feeling like you're connected to other people because you explain to them the darkness in your heart, right? But a support group, you know, talk to people about the times that you've been victimized, or the times that you've hurt yourself, or the times when blah, 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 blah. The times when you couldn't handle the world and so you turned to drugs or alcohol. And you can sit around a circle with a bunch of people who go, yeah, I feel that shit because I do that too, right? Or you sit around a bunch of people and you go, I don't feel connected to anybody because I don't know that anybody has ever experienced being beaten and abused by their parents. And everybody around the circle looks at you and goes, I was beaten and abused by my parents. We understand each other. Yeah. We can connect on that level. We can talk about those darknesses. But that's not all that matters, right? Any of it, any of the way that you think, any of the things that you think about, you can try to communicate them. Side note, not really a side note, corollary, Why do you think I have this channel? Why? Why do you think I speak to people? Why do I try to, and I do try to do this, why do I try to associate the things that I read in media with real experiences that I've had? Well, part of it is so that I can feel connected to humanity as a whole, right? Part of it is because when I do share things about myself, especially things that I have trouble sharing, I often get comments of people like, damn, I've never heard somebody else express this feeling. I felt the same way when XYZ happened to me. This really matters to me. Or when I look at pieces of media that examine or demonstrate things that maybe I don't have personal experience on, but I look at them from the perspective of somebody observing, from the perspective of somebody trying to interpret, both authorial intent and like character intent and story in world intent. When I talk about those things, I try to talk about them with a really open mind, and I think that doing so lets the people who do associate with those things see that other people might be able to understand, even if they haven't experienced the same thing. And that gets comments too. Gets people going, wow, it's really helpful that you're looking at this piece of media that means a lot to me in a way that is open and like serious and taking it seriously. That's powerful stuff. For me, the ability to sit here and talk into my microphone and know that at least a couple hundred people, you know, I get low view videos sometimes, at least a couple hundred people still on my lowest viewed videos are going to watch that, at least some portion of it. That's pretty interesting to know that I can express myself and to work on the muscle of expressing myself. Oh, so powerful, so valuable. And it does absolutely make me feel like there's something worth believing in. That loneliness, that existential truth of being a human, isn't the be-all and end-all of everything, and that there are ways to make strides against it. That loneliness isn't the only way to live in this world. Even if you're far, far away from other people, you don't have to be alone. Not when technology is the way that it is. I think that's really cool. Anyway, wanted to talk about this. All right, we're going to skip back through to this chapter, and here we are. Rark. Cigarettes. Some toys. Oh, he's making a model? A model car? Yeah. Oh, wow, look at the time. Why is Punpun so late? Oh dear, look what's happened. The sun setting red, running down a country road, not a soul in sight. Listening to music, and the freaking laundry is hanging out in the rain. Oh, forget it, I'm taking a nap. Good night. Jesus, uncle. Thank God it's raining if there's a fire going, right? All right, where is this? Who is this? I don't know. People running. This is just people running around dealing with rain. Here are some of our kids. Rain is falling. Rain on the leaves. Puddles on the ground. Kids coming home, drying off the kids, hanging out, watching baseball. Another family. Not Punpun's family. Punpun? Punpun! Oh, good. You're awake. Wait, okay, so she's not out, and he's there, and Seki's there too. Can you stand, Punpun? I didn't know what I would do if you never got up again. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh. And he looks up and he sees the Milky Way. Sek. Hey, over here, guys. Thank goodness you're all right. Allow me to introduce this guy who was just happening by, Mr. Kiyomoto, the exorcist. There are vengeful spirits hunting these premises. The terror. Okay, let's go home now. Seki, it's okay. I can walk now. Ouch. Come on, don't push your luck. And she holds hands with Punpun. Ooh, I wonder if we're going to do a love triangle thing with Seki. Ooh, I don't want that shit. You know, whole lot of stuff happened today. It's a good thing that rain came when it did, though. The god of poop was right. When I tried to do something good, the rains came down and helped us. Shimizu. Think. You're right. Thanks. Aw, that's actually cute. And they hold hands, and then these two run away. And she is still holding Seki's hand. Ding, ding. But even Punpun had an inkling of the truth. He would be unable to fulfill his promise to Aiko. Just this thought threatened to bring Punpun to tears. Sing! Oh, hey, that's the photo that I used for the... Yay! But Aiko's hand was so warm and so soft and still so tiny that Punpun could only squeeze it tightly. For some reason, Punpun found himself hoping that he would someday see this night sky brimming with stars once again. Okay, that's the midpoint of the volume, taking us to chapter 18. I'll read chapter 18. I want to. Early morning on the 9th, a man turned himself in at XX police station, saying he had killed his family, and after investigation, the bodies of 3 men and women were discovered several months into decomposition at an abandoned miso factory within the city. What? My goodness, I know that place, just at the end of K Street. Ooh, that big factory, when did it go under? Nurse, is there any way to improve the picture on the TV? The suspect claimed that he got into an argument about jobs that became heated and ended in murder. Signs of a recent fire were also discovered, and a possible connection to the murders is being investigated, and that's Punpun Mama? Yo, what the fuck? So they found the bodies after the fire occurred? They reinvestigated the location, they found the bodies? But the kids didn't. Whoa. Please, Mrs. Punyama, you can't go walking around as you please, and smoking is prohibited, except in designated smoking areas within the hospital. Well, I'm not causing trouble for anyone else. Okay, I admit, I do really like the view from this spot. So Punyama Mama is back in action to some extent. You're getting out tomorrow. I'm sure your son will be very excited. Like I care. I hate kids. I don't want to go back. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. This is the mom who's arriving back? I'm adrift. There's no place for me to go anymore. Ah, come, there's no use being so pessimistic, is there? You are such a nice, serious young lady. If I was a young man, I'd be giving it to you hard. Oh my god. It's a wonderful thing to be young. You getting laid? Oh, that's the same cute nurse. I wonder if she's gonna introduce him to Uncle. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I, don't have a boyfriend. Well, don't hold out on yourself. Go and get yourself some action, girl. You've got to wear that cooch out. I'll, look into that. Damn. That's so, like, older folks talking to younger folks. It's so perfect. Yeah. I've definitely experienced this on the like, male talking to male side. It's like, you're a spry young thing. You getting your dick wet? Dude, bro, we met 30 seconds ago and we're here watching a game. Like, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. Punpun was seriously stressing out. Punpun even felt a kind of self-righteous anger at himself because he couldn't manage to do anything but stress out. Yet he knew that stressing out wouldn't solve anything. Yes, and then because you feel angry at yourself for stressing out, you stress more because you can't stop stressing out, and so you keep stressing out until you just stress ball into stress oblivion, and you stress die. Fuck. Pretty soon, Aiko is gonna kill me. Okay, kids. Tomorrow is the start of summer vacation you've been waiting for. I'll be outside the Citizens Hall at 6 p.m., Aiko. It's fine to enjoy your summer to the fullest, but don't forget the most important thing. Only death awaits those who fail to complete their homework. Thank you, teacher. I have one more very important... Oh, he's moving out. Important thing to tell you all. Harumi, up to the front. Yes, teacher. This was originally scheduled to happen in the second semester, but at his parents' request, Harumi is moving to a nearby town immediately. You may say your farewells to the class, Harumi. Thanks for everything. Is she making a funny gesture, or is she crying? I straight up can't tell. She's got her shirt. Oh no, it must be like to the side like this. It looked like her shirt was in her mouth, but I guess not. The place we're moving into is awesome. It's got 3 floors, has a garage and a storage space under the floor, and I get my own room. If you're lucky, you won't need to sneak around in order to have a PFS. Oh yeah, it's on for real all day, every day. I mean, our PFS is still eternal, you know, but you know, it sucks having to share a room with your older sister in an apartment complex. I was really excited when Dad said we were getting our own house. I don't know. I don't feel that excited anymore. Sorry. Wait right here. Zoom, 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 zoom. So, he's going to give somebody the bike. So, you know how it's better to have less stuff when you move? I remember how much Punpun wanted a 6-speed bike, and Komatsu, you wanted a PlayStation, but all I can give you is this for now. Wow, literally giving him just a controller with no PlayStation? That's balls. Hey, a bike is great, though. Heh, heh, heh. I'm not really sure what to say at a moment like this. Let's hang out again sometime. By the time we see each other, but next time we see each other, I'll find some real uncensored porn. Later, guys. Sure you will, bud. Punpun was feeling so very, very lonely. To be honest, he didn't even care that much about his promise to Aiko anymore. How are kids supposed to get to a faraway place like Kagoshima? It's impossible. God damn it, God, what the fuck? And who kills someone over a broken promise? Maybe Aiko's actually really dumb. All Punpun could do was laugh. Ho 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 ho, ta ha ha ha. He couldn't help himself. It all seemed so funny. If you betray me, I'll kill you. Will Aiko kill me in a way so that it doesn't hurt? No. Punpun felt like his heart was going to burst. Is he going to stand her up? Maybe a 6-gear bike could get us to Kagoshima. Miss Punyama, time to check your temp. She's not here. Excuse me, have you seen Mrs. Punyama? I'll bet she's out having another smoke. I swear, that woman is more trouble than she's worth. Oh god, I'm stuck. I can't stop. Okay. Click. Hello? Punyama residence. Ah, of course, yes, from the hospital. Did she jump? Ting-ling-ling. Punpun! Hey, Punpun! Oh, there you are. You rascal, if you're going out to play, at least tell me first. But what am I saying? This is an emergency. My sister. Your mom fell from the emergency staircase at the hospital. We're in a hurry, driver. Use your mushroom dash. Wow. Yeah, use the mushrooms, like in Mario Kart. Whoa. In that case, I'll take you around the Citizens Hall. The direct way there is jammed this time of day. Whatever, use the triple mushrooms. So he's going to the place where Aiko is. So Punpun was half forced in the taxi. I can't believe that idiot. But, to be truthful, Punpun was somewhat relieved. She's always been a difficult person, you know? Emotionally unstable, maybe? Or just plain eccentric? I mean, after all, Punpun was naturally terrified of the thought of trying to get all the way to Kagoshima with Aiko. Like, when she was nearing 20, she went all over the world wandering from place to place. She was practically homeless. She even dropped out of college to do it. She called it a trip to find freedom and happiness and whatnot, but to me, it just sounded like she wanted to run away from it all. My mom did this. My mom did that. Very similar thing. Relatively well-to-do family. She went to school for... she dropped out of school for it, but she went on a journalistic and photography tour throughout the Middle East and elsewhere, and throughout Asia and stuff. And it was in her 20s, and it was precisely for these reasons, to find freedom and find herself. But it seemed more like it was to run away from her family dynamics and from the need to finish school. Which was interesting as a thing to watch her fabricate about it, and build out the reality that was her reality. And of course, her reality was, no, it was a for-fun trip, and it was not to run away from anything. But she never came back and finished school, which is really interesting. Just interesting. Okay. I mean, she came right back when she was done. She didn't even care all that much. You know what I think about real freedom? It comes at the price of being prepared to give up everything you have. I like that. Plus, Aiko just had to be terrified of the idea as well. And Punpun is completely not thinking about what his uncle is saying. It has not sunk in that his mother has jumped off a building. But I don't think that true happiness is found at the end of that sort of freedom. That's because happiness is a momentary concept, not a perpetual one. Punpun fervently hoped that Aiko had gotten cold feet, and she wouldn't be waiting for him at the meeting place. Ah, people always spend their lives lost, looking for a truth that doesn't exist. Whoa. You know what I think about real freedom? It comes at the price of being prepared to give up everything that you have. I hard agree with this. I actually do. It's very specific, too. Prepared to give up everything that you have. Not having to give up everything you have. Prepared to. I like that a lot. I've talked about a similar concept as regards to the anime and manga Akagi, which is by the same guy who wrote Kaiji, Ultimate Survivor. Akagi's about a white-haired boyo who plays mahjong and is a crazy bettor. He bets crazily. And his whole deal is that he has no fear. No fear. Self-preservation, yes. Fear, no. Unafraid. Prepared always to give up everything. In part because he starts out having nothing, but he's always prepared to bet it all. Always. If he thinks he can win. And he does this in the very beginning scenes of the show. I think it's by episode 4. I had a reaction up to a number of episodes of Akagi, like a rewatch video, but it got copyright claimed a little while ago. I don't remember if it didn't get striked, but I do think it got blocked in some places, so sorry about that. Otherwise, I'd try to link it or something, but anyway, it's gone, I suppose. But there's a sequence in it, there's this concept in it that I really like, that actually changed my life, that really, really inspired me and made Akagi one of the pieces of media that I count among my favorites, because it really did alter my perspective. The scene is a game of chicken, so 2 people driving cars, and instead of driving cars at each other, they're driving cars at a cliff, right? And they've rigged it somehow. I forget what they did. Oh, I remember what it was. Because of the way that the 2 cars are driving, I guess Akagi's on the left because you drive on the right in Japan. Akagi's in the vehicle to the left, and the car is to the right of him. And so he like, can't jump out of the vehicle because of the way he's right next to the other car, or something like that. The other guy guns it, they chicken up to the end, and the other guy jumps out of the vehicle, I think. Or, no, I gotta go find it. Hold on, one sec. Straight up pulling it up on fucking GoGo Anime. I hate doing this, but I am gonna pull it up. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna watch through it, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what actually happened. Yeah, okay, so I found it. The lines are pretty cool. So everything was rigged in the gangsters' favors. It was a bet with some Yakuza, some gangsters. They knew the locations, they knew when they needed to brake on a rainy night in order to stop before the cliff. And they chose the car on the right so that they could jump out, and he couldn't. He needed to, in order for me to win, I needed to negate the conditions of the game that the game was based on. Namely, that we didn't want to die. And so I survived because I didn't break. That's Akagi's whole story of that particular incident. And that lands in my mind. It sticks in my fucking head. Because the idea of it is that off of this cliff, there is the cliff face, and then there are rocks in the water, right? So if you break and you never go fast enough, you break early, you can stop. If you're on the side and you can jump out of the car, you can bail. But if you want to go over that cliff, there's only one thing that you can do. If you hesitate at all, if you do anything but floor it, if you touch the brakes, you won't have the momentum to clear the rocks. And so you'll hit them and you'll die. You have to be unafraid of death. You have to be prepared to give up everything. And that's where you get real freedom and victory. And so Akagi floors it, goes off the edge of the cliff, and into the water. And loses the car, of course, but it's not his. He doesn't give a shit. He survives. And he survives because he's willing to die. He survives because he's willing to die. His freedom comes at the price of being prepared to give up everything. But because he's prepared to give up everything, he doesn't give up anything. He wins. If he weren't prepared to die, how could he have the guts to hold the pedal down? Right? How? It would be like waiting to jump out of an airplane, you know, jump out of a plane until it's too low and you don't have time to hit the chute. You have to jump. You have to go. You have to be willing to lose. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to fucking die. And that defines a lot of what I've done. I talked before about building this channel and wanting a place for a voice, but it's also an immense risk, an absurd risk, right? To try to become a creator, let alone to try to fund it in a way that most people don't fund their media, right? Like, most people use ad revenue. Most people do that shit. I don't. It's scary. It was really scary to do this. Terrifying. I had to be willing to give up everything. And I have, right? There's no going back from this. There's no returning to a previous state of being. I'm probably never going to pull out my computer science degree and try to work for a company again. It's not going to happen. Even if I did, right, I would have to try to explain this multi-year gap where I've been a YouTuber for years. Now, I could do that and I could spin it in a great way and be like, look, I built a successful YouTube channel that funds me via Patreon. This is super cool. This is neat. And maybe that could spin into a job, but I don't want it to. I've cleared the rocks. I'm in the water now. I just have to swim. Right? But I know about this process. I know that if you want something, in most circumstances, I think you have to be willing to give up everything in order to get it, including the chances of getting what you want. You have to understand that that thing might not come to you, right? It's like the people who move to Hollywood to become an actor. You got to be willing to die out there, man. You got to be willing to put it all on the fucking line because you're probably not going to make it. But if you don't put it all out on the fucking line, if you give yourself a safety net, if you just get comfortable, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. Absolutely fucked. And that doesn't mean don't find side jobs and don't support yourself. That's not what it means, obviously. But, like, if you go out to become an actor and you start finding that you're comfortable off of the wages that you make doing those side jobs, and you stop going to auditions and you stop really trying, or just your heart's not in it and you feel like, you know, well, I could always go home to my family, or I could always go live with this person and have a safety net, I don't think you're going to make it. I don't think so. I think a safety net's important to have, but I think when you're doing something risky, you don't want it. You don't want it. I do this at the gym sometimes when I don't bench very often, but when I was benching more frequently, bench press, my gym buddy would be like, you want a spot? And I'd go, no, I want it to kill me. I want it to kill me if I fail. I want the threat of death. I want when I'm failing and I want to be like, let it go. No, if I do that, I die. The weight will be on my chest and I'll have to wiggle out. Now I know how to get out from under a bar. It's not that hard. But like there's that threat. This is failure if I fail. It's not just meh if I fail. It's failure. It's death. It's the end. It's a loss. That's good for us. That's useful for us. It's stressful. It's stressful, but it's useful. Put failure as a condition. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Run toward it. Floor it. Go straight toward the pain. Pain is where the progress happens. Now, that doesn't mean that always seeking pain is worthwhile. You gotta have progress along with it. Or you gotta be a masochist, and then pain is always worthwhile. But pain is often an indicator of progress. Difficulty, having to give things up, often an indicator of success. Or the potential of it. Floor it. If you're gonna dive into the deep end, you better dive head first. If you're gonna jump in, you better jump. You better jump far and try to clear the rocks, because those rocks are there. I can't help but love that analogy for Akagi, right? You're on the road. There's no way out, right? You can't really jump out of the vehicle because life keeps going. You can't really stop the vehicle. You could, but you'd lose, right? You can give up at any point in that game of chicken. You can hit the brakes and stop, and you'll lose. What's your option? There's a cliff. There are rocks under the cliff. If you hesitate, you die. If you brake too late, you die. If you commit and then stop committing, you die. The only thing you can do is commit hard, floor it, and go off the edge. All the way over. Hope that you clear the rocks, make it into the water, and then start fucking swimming. Start going forward. Jump. So sick. So good. But I don't think that true happiness is found at the end of that sort of freedom. That's because happiness is a momentary concept, not a perpetual one. Yeah, but the state of capacity for happiness is not momentary. It's perpetual. And it varies, and you can't remain in that state all the time. But giving yourself the state that is conducive to happiness, that allows for happiness, that's not momentary. Happiness itself is fleeting. You can't seek happiness as a goal. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But stability, connection, having people around you, working towards something of value, Working towards something that you actually believe is valuable, that you genuinely believe in. I think if you don't have some of those things, you can't be happy. Or you can only be happy when it's something that like takes you out of that moment or out of that state. It's a Maslow's hierarchy-esque sort of thing. If you don't have the fundamentals down, how are you going to be happy? It's really hard to be happy when you're starving. Now, it's not that hard to pretend to be happy when you're starving, or to, in a difficult circumstance, use like humor and joy and all these things in order to offset it. All viable, all doable, and there is happiness in darkness. There is the ability to find great joy in great darkness. But I think to accomplish maximal happiness, however the fuck that's defined, in your life, you have to do some things to make that possible. And I think those things being accomplished puts you in a state where you're more conducive, that's more conducive to happiness, where it's possible. But that state isn't happiness. That state isn't even like contentedness. Those are all results or symptoms of the underlying state of being, at least in my experience. You're going to have a really hard time being happy if you're in a shitty relationship. You're going to have a really hard time being happy if you don't know if you have a place to stay. You're going to have a really hard time being happy if your finances aren't in order. And if the ability that you will have to pay for food and housing in the next short period of time is up in the air. You're going to have a really hard time being happy if you don't have anyone to talk to or communicate with. You're going to have a really hard time being happy if your work, whatever you're doing to survive, isn't something you believe in. You're going to have a really hard time being happy if the people around you hurt you. You're going to have a really hard time being happy if you hurt the people around you. All those go back to the bad relationship stuff, right? You're going to have a really hard time hitting that fleeting happiness if you don't have the perpetual laid out. People always spend their lives lost looking for a truth that doesn't exist, says the uncle who believes that it doesn't exist. I don't believe him. I believe that it's true in his life, potentially, but I don't know. All right. Maybe, at this very moment, Aiko was trembling too, nibbling on a choco pie at home. In which case, how undependable would she be? Punpun slowly grew more and more sure of himself. That's why I'm always so damn sad. All I can do is lament at what greedy and weak creatures human beings are. Or you could maybe try not to be that. Recognize the darkness that's possible and frequent in humans and try to be something else in the world. That would be good. It's such a self-righteous-y statement. It's so useless. All I can do, it's the only thing I can do, is watch as all these humans are greedy and weak and they destroy everything. Is that all you can do? Could you try to not be that way? Could you try to raise the child who's in your life to not be that way? Could you try to help the people around you so that they don't have to act greedy and weak? Could you try to be strong and generous? Because, crazy thought, there are strong and generous people out there. They exist. You probably know one, at least. They've probably been really good to you. So the question isn't why are they all like this? The question is why aren't they all like that? Because there are people who make change in the world and are strong and generous and powerful and valuable and good. So maybe try to become like them instead of watching all the darkness in the world and saying, oh dear, how sad it is that the world is so dark. It's like sitting in a dark cave when you have access to a tinderbox and matches, going, gosh, this cave, it's so dark. It's so dark. Okay? Yeah? Does telling us about how dark it is help make it not dark anymore? No, you're just a part of the darkness. Okay, so back to it. Oh, Aiko, what's that? You're just a sniveling weakling too? Neener, neener. No, that's so great. Punpun nearly grew excited at the prospect of hurling this taunt the next time they met. Humans are nothing but... Whoosh. Ding. That's what I thought. He doesn't hear what his uncle says because he catches outside the window Aiko, tears in her eyes, waiting for him to show up outside of the Citizens Hall. Closing her eyes and turning. And he sees it. Does she see him? No, but he sees her tears. Sorry, Uncle Yuichi got a little carried away. I'm just talking to myself, Punpun. Don't mind me. Punpun? Right this way, Mr. Punyama. Booty. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. All right, sister, let me get one thing off my chest first. Are you fucking around with us? Oh, shut up. It's not like I jumped. My hand slipped is all bullshit. Oh, your hand slipped and you fell 3 stories. That's really impressive, you know. Fine, my foot slipped then. Very convincing, yes. Anyway, they said you're still being discharged from the hospital tomorrow as scheduled. You'll be fine if you'll just be coming for checkups on the fracture. I'm going to stay in the house a little while longer because I don't feel entirely comfortable with leaving Punpun alone with you right now. Thank you, Uncle. Oh, wonderful. Seeing how my hand is broken, can I assume you'll take over all the household chores? Apparently, the corrugated roof of the parking lot miraculously spared you any further injury, which is about the most meaningless miracle I ever heard of. Well, look at Mr. Chastiser. What's wrong, honey? Punpun wished the world would simply blow up in that moment. Oh, fuck. Yeah, bro. All right, we're going to read this whole volume. I'm sorry, we are. And Mama's home. I'm home. I'm home. Punpun, are you here? God, the fucking DG, the fucking Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses. I think that's what they are. Fucking forgive me if it's the wrong brand, right? Like, I so don't care. The chunk glasses with the logo built into them. Such mom shit. Such Karen shit, right? Like, that's Karen glasses right there. His mom is Karen, a bird. Karen. Jesus. So you are here. I said I'm home. Say something. And she thwacks him with her cast. What? Stop looking at me like that. What is with that child? I'm not sure, but he's been like that since yesterday. Punpun was in deep, deep pain. He thought it was all over for him. Do you feel better after throwing a fit? Not at all. God loves seeing such a pitiful Punyama. Thanks, God. He felt awful. Did Aiko make it safely back home? Or was she going to Kagoshima alone? Please donate any unneeded items you have, or maybe she was still crying. Punpun was feeling so very awful, and he wondered how Aiko was feeling right now. Punpun thought that such a terrible person like him would be better off dead. Then as part of the contract to pay the remainder of the loan, let's give the ownership of the house to my sister. And, hey, is it alright if I turn on the TV? This fucking lawyer. Hey, Punpun, you got a call from Komatsu? Punpun was always kind of like that since he was little, but I wonder if he'll be alright. Second semester is starting tomorrow, isn't it? It's fine. He's still eating properly. You know, I think it's about time I look for a job. Oh, well, aren't you admirable? Did you want to help out with the mortgage? No? Well, it's just that after looking at you two, I want to get myself back on track at the very least. Good. And so summer vacation already came to an end. And on the first day back, Aiko was there at school as usual. Hey, Punpun, what did you do over summer break? Be sad. I was sad. You never pick up the phone. I'm going to the washroom. Punpun! Hey, don't you think Punpun looks kind of like Johnny? Maybe you should try going to this Junior Idol audition. Wouldn't it be super cool if someone from our class was famous? Hey, Aiko, don't you think Punpun looks sort of like Johnny? Maybe? Aiko. Okay. Everyone, please take your seats. I know it's just the start of the second semester, but I have another friend to introduce to you all. I'm from Suginama. My name, Aiko. Just kill me. As long as Aiko wished for it, Punpun was ready for any kind of punishment. Well, now that we have our new student, let's have a test for first period. Just kidding. Blah, 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 blah. Fucker did this before, too. Now, do it. Hurry up and do what you will to me. Why are you following me? If you have something you want to say, then how about you just say it? I don't want to die. I'm sorry. And even so, Punpun still loved Aiko. But no matter how much he cried, he was still all alone on this earth. Punpun, next chapter. Punpun may have been all alone on this earth, but with a dear God, tinkle, tinkle, hoy, God would come to him. Dink! Poof. That stupid asshole. Fucking God, no help for you. Wait, who's this? Hey, Punpun. Hey, Punpun, it's your dad. It's dad. It's dad? Come on, Punpun. What the fuck? Come on, Punpun, wouldn't it be all right to tell me why you were crying so much? So he's out of prison, huh? Oh, and this guy's back. Are you perhaps being bullied by your friend? I wasn't crying. Punpun kept on trying to convince his dad on this point. Were you dumped by a girl you like? Ah, so that was it. It was that girl I saw earlier, wasn't it? She's quite the cute one, isn't she? But she hates you now. I see. It's been only 2 months since I last saw you, but it already seems like you're an adult now. What? Well, girls are always like that. They must be in this rugby squad or something. They must be creatures from the farthest ends of the universe. Speaking of which, have you been using your telescope? Whenever I look at the stars, I think that even if my fated person was among the many stars, is it even possible for us to meet? But your dad is a bit of a pervert, so he can't help but be wrapped by the things close to him. Even though I want to understand, I keep fumbling about in the dark. But people are just like that, even me, as I try to persuade myself otherwise. But I want to believe these feelings that I've held so importantly to me are real. I'm sorry, Punpun. I must be boring you, right? No, I understand completely, Punpun answered appropriately. So you do understand. That's my special Punpun. Your dad had one thing he wanted to tell you. Woo, pandas. Whoosh. Whoa. Wow. Ta-ha, woo. Ha, I forgot what I was going to say. Fuck. Punpun thought that his dad seemed unusually dispirited. Punpun liked his father. Your father used to think about space all the time as a kid, you know. I was really into science fiction as a kid, too. I thought that by my age, I'd be living a happy life on a planet far, far away. But the future turned out to be unexpectedly plain. Ooh. I want to be an astronaut. Nope, you're a salaryman. Huh? You found a new star? Wow, that's amazing. Won't you take your dad there one day? Of course. Yes. Thank you. I'm not sure why, but your dad feels so happy right now. Wow. Although he'd be embarrassed if he was caught seen like this by his friends, his dad's body was so warm and it felt so good. He forgot it was still fall. All right then, since it's getting chilly, try not to catch a cold, Punpun. Your dad can't come near our house any closer than this, so I'll see you off here and go. Wow, so he's got an RO, restraining order. Go where, Punpun asked. To America. The truth is that your dad was chosen to be a test pilot by NASA. Lie. All right, get going. Don't make your mother worry. If she realizes that I've been holding you up on your way back home, she won't shut up about it. When will we next meet? Punpun asked his father. Well, we can meet whenever you wish, Punpun thought to himself. Liar. Punpun, I forgot to say one thing to you. Love you? I love you. Good job, Dad. Honestly, this is all fraught, right? We know his dad is a physically abusive man. We know that there's problems here, but he comes back, he talks to him about the one thing that they've connected on recently, which is the telescope and the stars and stuff. He clearly lies and tells him that he's going to be a test pilot for NASA. There's no chance. But he's here. He opens up to him about his own life struggles a little bit. Gives him a hug. Tries to give him a piece of important advice, but doesn't. Fails to because he gets distracted by being a pervert, which he does say about himself. It's pretty interesting. Seems like you're already an adult. Even if my fated person was among the many stars, is it even possible for us to meet? But your dad is a bit of a pervert, so he can't help but be wrapped by the things close to him. Even though I want to understand, I keep on fumbling about in the dark. But people are just like that, even me, as I try to persuade myself otherwise. But I want to believe that these feelings I've held so importantly to me are real. Really, really interesting. Now, it's not even textual, right? But it's interesting to me that I made this metaphor of being in the dark in a cave with a tinderbox and some matches. And the thing about the way that I indicted that sort of a person just going, oh no, it's so dark in here. That's one thing. But what if they're actually fumbling with the pieces trying to get it lit and get a light going, but they don't know how? It's a different kind of a thing. It is similar. It's not that they're just like, oh, woe is me. Meh, I'm so sad to be here in the dark, even though I have these tools. They might be trying and failing to set a light up. In the context of like becoming a light in the darkness of the world, right? With everyone else in the world being dark. Punpun's father seems a little bit... Seems like he's on a good path to some extent. I don't know where he's going to go after this, but we'll see. Because obviously the NASA thing isn't true. Also, at this moment, I thought that by my age, I'd be living a happy life on a planet far, far away, but the future turned out to be unexpectedly plain. Super true to so many people. And I think we're going to watch this reflection in Punpun, right? Kid, got some cool, crazy big dreams, wants to be a space scientist, wants all these things, probably going to end up waiting tables, working at fast food, eventually becoming a salaryman of some kind. It's just the likelihood of it, right? His future will probably turn out to be very expectedly plain. Interesting. These last pages, though. I'm not sure why, but your father feels so happy right now. His dad's body was so warm and it felt so good, he forgot it was still fall. This tracks with me. I've got a tough relationship with my dad. Currently, I have no relationship with my dad. We fell out real hard. Real hard. And I don't know, I can't reach out to him, and he won't reach out to me, so. But along with the tough stuff and difficulty that I have and remember with my dad when I think of him, I think of the very few times, very few and far between, because it wasn't a common thing in our family, the very few times that we embraced, that we hugged, and those sink into my mind. And in almost every time, because it was so infrequent, and it's such a powerful emotional thing to embrace a parent, both of us would break down into tears, like, immediately. But this feeling evokes that for me. Big time. Big time. It's tough. It's really tough having a deeply complicated relationship with somebody who you care about immensely, and who like, you know, cares about you immensely, right? Because I know that is the case with my father. But to have these mixed memories of fights and bad times, bad conversations, constant stuff, and mixed in with great moments, with beautiful things. It makes the whole thing very complicated to look back on. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. And this is a complicated sequence in Punpun. I love you. Thanks, Dad. Punpun, alone, walks back. Back into his house. The star Punpunia had already disappeared. Weird. Dink, dink, dink. Chapter 22. There's the new girl. Please stay after school for the chorus practice. Huh? Where's Punpun? Maybe he went home. He seems to be back to his usual self. Yeah. Doot. Doot. Ah, welcome home. What good timing. We have something important to tell you. Uh-oh. From now on, your name will be Onodera Punpun. Oh, you're taking the other name, huh? As for the reason why, well, you'll understand when you're older. Hey, where are you going? I even bought some choco pies for you. Toot toot. Hey! Even Punpun could fully understand what that meant already. Divorce. Toot! Punpun's chest tightened as he thought to himself that nobody understood his feelings. Right, same idea. He was sick and tired of being treated like a little kid all the time. Toot! Ah! Crash! Wow, in the same place, too. Same place that she fell. Punpun made a decision. Starting from today, Punpun decided he would be an adult. Yeah, that's how that works. Punpun wouldn't be afraid of anything anymore. Yeah, that's how that works. You just decide not to be afraid. No matter where the place was, Punpun felt as if he could go anywhere, off into the far and unknown, except Kagoshima. Ah, the world that Punpun imagined stretched endlessly. You just thought to yourself that you should return home now, didn't you? Haha, you're still just a kid, Punpun. But that's just how you are, Punpun. Shut up. Oh, how scary. It was the first time Punpun went to school during after-school hours. Nice. The school that was silent as a grave. Was like a world in which humans had been wiped out. Yes. Ding, ding, ding. A little bit of music. Yep. The Punpun of today was feeling especially lonely. If he was going to be lonely, he had thought it would have been better to be all alone from the beginning. As the warm sunlight felt so softly on his skin, Punpun wondered if he were to evaporate like water as he closed his eyes and lied down, just how high he could fly off. If I could get just one wish, I would like a pair of wings on my back. Please give me white wings on my back like a bird. This is the song. Da, 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 da. Yep. I want to spread my wings and fly across this wide open sky without any sadness. Fly towards the free sky. I want to flap my wings and fly. Tsubasa wo Kudasai, composed by Murai Kunihiko, lyrics by Yamagami Michio. Flying away. Welcome home, Punpun. Yuichi went out to look for you. I figured you'd be coming home about now. What the fuck? I figured you'd be coming home about now. You! Raises her hand to him. Doesn't hit him. Don't leave your mom all alone. Punpun started to shed tears without even understanding why. Hey, Punpun, your dinner is getting cold. Good night, Punpun. 2 years later. Thank you, I'll be going now. Is that him speaking? Damn, it's freezing. Over here. It might be a bit big since there's only 2 of us, but oh well. I recently found out... Oh, that's Uncle. I recently found out about this shop. Isn't the ambiance quite relaxing? I think this place used to be a noodle shop. When was that exactly? Since it was back when my sister just got divorced, so maybe 2 years? Oh, is this the dad's, the Seki's noodle shop? And who's he inviting here? Well, nothing lasts forever, but times sure have... And he says your sister. My sister, so it's not his dad. Is this the nurse? Well, nothing lasts forever, but the times sure have passed by quickly. I never thought we'd end up being acquaintances for so long. Oh. Wee! In any case, you're one of the few remaining friends I have. I hope we can continue to get along. I'll go with a Napolitan. Yugami, what about you? Let's make it 2 Napolitans. My sister has gotten mostly used to her part-time job. But just because she wants to show off to the neighbors, she goes to work all the way over in the next town. She even made up some weird lie about managing some apartment house in Setagaya. What? Punpun? He's a good kid, hasn't changed a bit. I wonder if he's doing some kind of club activities at school. During first semester, he just stayed at home all day, but he's gotten much better since then. I guess time fixes all things. Girlfriend? Me? No, of course not. No girl would fall in love with a 30-year-old freeder like me. Here's your food, sir. Ah, hot! If this were America, I could file a lawsuit for this. I'm so sorry, I'll wipe it up right away. Huh? Have I seen you before? Wait, is that Aiko? I don't think that's Aiko. Is that the nurse? I don't think so. Weird. Punpun was a hardworking middle school student. Come on, first years, your pace is slowing down. Come on, 1, 2, 1, 2. But Yaguro, we're tired of just doing practice swings. When do we get to play a match in the gym? You know, if I said that to my seniors when I was a freshman, I'd be in some deep shit. Well, our teachers did tell us repetition is important, but still. But basics are essential, you know? How about you just keep practicing for now? But Komatsu participates in the normal practices with the seniors. That's favoritism, you know? Jeez, but that's Komatsu. Have you ever seen his smashes? He's a demon. The reason why Punpun joined the badminton club was that Komatsu asked to join with him, saying it would be fun. Even though Punpun wasn't entirely convinced, since this was coming from Komatsu who was good at badminton, he still wanted to make his friend happy. Hey, Punpun, I'm one of the singles players to the next prefectural tournament. Maybe I'll even be able to win. Alright, that's it for today. First year's cleanup. I heard Yagura's penis is huge. Huge. Really? God damn it. Aiko! Wave. Ah, shit. Oh, I hate that. She's not waving at him. Fuck. Hey, Tanaka, I have a meeting, so just wait for a little longer for me. Fuck. Within the past 2 years, Punpun had not once talked to Aiko. Their eyes never met. She's dating this other guy. Fuck. But even so, even still, wow. Punpun was still in love with Aiko. This is hell. That's the end of the volume. We just time skip 2 years? So his mom comes home and we time skip 2 fucking years. Wow. Who is that working at the cafe, I wonder? I don't know who that is. I don't recognize her completely. It might be the nurse lady, but I don't know. Wow. So we got family stuff. We got Aiko stuff. We are growing up and turning this into a coming-of-age story that's really fleshing this out. Damn. And the whole journey to the miso factory doesn't happen. And because it doesn't happen, the journey to Kagoshima doesn't happen. And this whole distance is created between him and Aiko. And he never manages to go after her and apologize or explain himself or anything. Even though, like, he was fucking it up, right? He was going to not go because he couldn't. But also, his mom got re-injured on the same day. So there is an excuse. He could have made it less hard on himself. He didn't. Foolish Punpun. God damn it, Punpun. This manga's good. Oh, Punpun. Oh, this is hell. This is fucking rough, man. He's still infatuated with this girl, hasn't talked to her in years, sees her with another guy. Punpun's on a depressing path. This is a cool volume. Sorry to end up reading the whole thing. I'm sure that nobody is mad about me reading it more, right? I'm sure nobody's mad about it. But I didn't intend to. I just got sort of stuck there. Halfway through the volume was not a good place to stop. I needed to keep going, what's happening? And turned out to be fun. So that was very enjoyable. You get a little bit of extra Punpun today. Nice. I think I'm going to wrap there, everybody. Consistently a great section of the manga. I think it was very enjoyable. I've enjoyed talking about it, and I think there were some good discussion points as well. From the uncle to some other interesting things to some worldview stuff. I think it was good. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you want next week's reaction, reading, whatever you want to call it, it'll be up on the Patreon. You can check that out and get some early access, as well as jump into the Discord and talk about this with other people and all these fun things that we can do. So hit that up if you'd like to. Likes, comments, and subscribes on this video, really helpful. All of those help get the videos out to more people, so super duper duper good. And that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next week for more Punpun. Peace.